What is up, A-Team? Welcome back. Awesome here. Hope everyone's having an awesome day. So I'm here to talk about Shibarium. I'm here to talk about Bone. Obviously, you guys know that I hold a significant portion of Bone. I've been supporting Bone for quite some time now. And, I'm honestly waiting for the Shibarium blockchain to just, hit the ground running, the mainnet opening up and projects coming on board, because I do think that there is, based off of previous blockchains, based off of history and everything like that, which I will share today with you, I could see Bone doing very, very well. Based off supply, based off pricing, based off launch price, everything like that. And then on top of it all, dude, I think that Shibarium is probably one of the most talked about, one of the most popular launches that we've seen in quite some time. So, the Shibarium is getting 200,000 wallets a day. We're getting a lot of hype behind it. People are really knowing what Shibarium's about. And like just that alone creates enough hype to be able to say that this might be the most hyped blockchain dropping in crypto history. I don't know. Maybe Ethereum was right there, maybe BNB was right there, but we haven't had something like that in years. And so to see that Shibarium is right on the cusp of doing this, and there's so much talk about it. I mean, it's Shiba is still one of the most talked about cryptocurrencies in this space. This is some exciting news. And I want to share this because I think it's important that you go through the numbers here, right? As you can see, Bone is at $1.08. A lot of us are buying this at 30 cents. And if you actually go back and you look, I mean, the lowest price for Bone was at 28 cents. So we were buying right at that 30-cent mark, and we were buying at the all-time low. A lot of us are up almost 270% right now. My bag is up 270%. And I own a pretty good amount, but it's exciting to see that we literally bought the bottom of Bone. One thing I want to point out here is that we look at circulating supply. So a lot of us come back and we say, okay, so what could the price potentially be? If we actually get out there and this thing's out there running and people are launching their projects off of this, tokens are becoming the Bone, wrapped in Bone. They got NFT projects that are obviously wrapping their stuff in Bone. Right now at this total supply of 230 million, this is right around par with a lot of the other blockchains that are out there. And so when you go back and you look at like what's the potential behind Bone and like what could this be, and like everyone already asked like what's the price predictions of this and like how far could this go, when you're actually really trying to evaluate this, and how I do it is I'm looking at the total supply, because total supply plays a big factor in this, and then total market cap, and again, this, who knows how far this market cap could go, right? Let's just take a look at Ethereum here. Ethereum is sitting at roughly what do they had 120 million total supply. So about half of what Bone is at this time. And if we go back and we look, I mean, their all-time high was sitting at roughly, almost $4,800. And when you go back and you look at their all-time lows is sitting at 42 cents was an all-time low for them. But look at this, dude. They're up 432,000% up from their all-time low. I mean, that is incredible to think, right? Even if Bone were to get, 1/4 that, or maybe even 1/10 that, imagine what the possibilities could be, right? And again, the circulating supply is not that far off. So could they actually get to $900, which is where half of where this is at? Maybe that could happen, right? And so I'm just thinking, like, if you're buying this at $1 and you're up to $900 at its all-time high, I mean, that's a crazy amount of supply. That's a crazy amount of percentages gained. And again, I'm not saying this is just hypothetical here. I want to make sure this is very clear. This is just hypothetical play out here of what the scenarios could be. And we're in a bear market right now. We're not even in a bull run. And so again, when Shibarium does launch in a bull run and things start to really ramp up and people start to launch their projects and liquidity is put over there, you just don't know what's going to happen. But let's go to the next one here. Let's take BNB, for instance. BNB is at 157 million in terms of total supply. So again, about half of what, roughly a little bit more than half of what Bone is, but they're sitting at $314 as of right now. Let's go take a look at their all-time low here. Their all-time low is sitting at 9 cents. 9 cents is where they were at. So they're roughly around 326,000% up at the time of this video. And so you start to really think about it, like, wow, dude, that's crazy in terms of returns. And they're not even at their all-time high. Their all-time high was $690. But again, look at where it was at when it launched. Look at going through a bull run, and then look at where it's at right now. So again, another exchange that's roughly around the same, roughly about half of the circulating supply. But even if Bone were to get to half of this, right? So we're saying it's going to get to roughly $150. If you're buying it at $1 and it gets to $150, I mean, the returns could be insane. But again, hypothetical here. We're just playing it based off of circulating supply and market cap and the actual numbers of what we see in front of us. Let's go to the next blockchain that's out there that has very similar numbers. Obviously Solana has a little bit more of a circulating supply than that of Bone, but this is probably a little bit more realistic in a way. So it's still sitting ranked number 10 overall. It's sitting at $20.95 at the time of this filming. Let's go down and take a look at their all-time low. Their all-time low was 50 cents. And as of right now, even at their all-time low and they're up to $20, they're still 4,000% up from their all-time low. And again, a bear market, we're not even in a bull run. In the bull run, they're maxed out at $260. And again, they had way more supply than that of even Bone did. And like I said, when you start to really think about it, Bone's hype, the hype behind Bone, the hype behind Shibarium, I think outweighs a lot more of these blockchains that are even existing today. Like Shibarium is being talked about more than Solana, being talked about more than Avalanche, which is the next one here. Let's talk about Avalanche here. Avalanche is sitting at $17.67. I mean, their total supply is 720 million. Total supply right now is 421 million. So again, very similar to that of Bone, right? We go back, look at Bone here, right around 230 million. So again, all these are very similar, maybe off a little bit, but very similar in pricing. Right now, sitting at $17.67. Let's go back down and look at their all-time low here. Their all-time low was $2.78. They're still up 532% from their all-time low. And again, we know that Avalanche now picked up some partnerships with Amazon and things like that. But Avalanche isn't really one of those projects where people go and launch tokens off of. They do, but that's just not very well known. People don't really go to Avalanche to buy meme coins or meme tokens or NFTs and things like that, which is what I think Shibarium is going to drive for. I think Shibarium is really going to try to play into the role of what BNB and what Ethereum is in this space, right? They've already came out and said, we want to be able to drop NFTs. We want to be able to drop tokens and projects that want to build on there. So I think that Shibarium's really trying to take away from the market hold of Ethereum, BNB. And I did have Polygon in here, but again, Polygon had a massive amount of supply. So I was trying to make it really close to the supply so we could actually look at what it could be more in terms of supply, market cap, and stuff like that. And so I think that when we start to look at these, the closest one is probably it's probably close to Ethereum or BNB, right? I mean, they're off by just halves. We'll take BNB. If it gets to a 50 billion market cap, right, and we're sitting at a 247 million market cap, I mean, even if this have to like 20x from right now to get to where BNB is in a bear market. And can that happen? I don't know. I don't know if it can happen. But again, if history repeats itself and we see what we're seeing right now, the potential is real. I mean, we know the potential, right? We're basing our investments off of the potential of what something could be. And if a bull market comes, Shibarium drops, cryptocurrency projects are launching on there. People are taking their Ethereum, they're taking their USD, their USDC, anything, and they're launching their contracts on there and wrapping it in Bone. And now look at all that money that's coming to Shibarium. Look at all that money that is now, coming into Bone and increasing the value of Bone itself. I'm not sitting here saying that like, hey, you guys got to go drop out everything you're doing. I'm just saying, put this on your radar. Put this on your radar as something to watch. We've been saying this for a long time that Bone has a massive amount of potential based off the hype, the FOMO, everything surrounding Shibarium. And I just sort of wanted to put this out there in plain sight of what it could be. And this is why I own Bone, because I think that there's a massive amount of potential. It's funny. I was watching a cryptocurrency channel, and they were talking about what they were doing when Ethereum was down to $1. If you guys remember, Ethereum was down to $1, back in the early, back in the early 2015s, right? And we go back and we start to think, like, what were we doing in 2015? We were all just sort of chilling, didn't really even think about Ethereum. Some of us did. I wasn't. I was just hanging out, doing all this kind of stuff. And imagine if you bought Ethereum at $1 down here, what that could actually do. We're right back this with Bone right now. What if you buy this at $1? And what could happen? I don't know, man. I don't know. But all I can say is that I'm not waiting on the sidelines for this one. I haven't been waiting on the sidelines for it because I think that there's just too much potential, especially with the FOMO and the hype around Shibarium. That's where money's made. But again, you got to make your own decisions here. This was me just sort of playing the hypothetical here. Again, I'm not giving any financial advice on this. I'm just saying, comparing numbers based off supply, market cap, where they're at, being that we're in a bear market and what the potential could potentially be. So, let me know your thoughts down below. Do you actually think that a Bone could get up to those prices? Do you actually think it could get up to a 400,000% increase from where it's at right now? Because that's really where BNB got, and that's definitely where Ethereum got. Do you think this could actually play a factor into that? Do you think that Shibarium could actually take the market share from BNB and from Ethereum in terms of tokens and things launching on there? That's what I want to know. So yeah, with all that, please leave any comments, questions, concerns down in the comment section below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And with all that said, we're out. Peace out, everyone.